everyone, it is Susie, and I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I am doing another collab video with Arteza, and guys, these products, I really enjoy using them. This is the second video that I have done a collaboration with them, and I've loved every product that I have used so far. The packaging is beautiful. The products are really quality, so I'm always happy to use them, and very thankful that I was able to do another collaboration with them. So what I'm going to use today, and these are really nice products. I've already experimented with everything here, but I've got the Arteza school glue, because you know, if you watch any of my videos, you know I'm always looking for good adhesives. I mean, that's just something I enjoy doing. And this is Arteza Thick Formula Washable Non-Toxic School Glue. It's a premium school glue, and it is thick. I enjoy that it is thick. So I'm going to be working with that. Then I got these, whoops, and I know there's a glare. I'm not sure how to get that off of there, but these are the Arteza Black 5mm point, waterproof, fade resistant, airplane safe, and acid free. So, and most importantly to me is the waterproof and the fade resistant, and that it has that extra fine point on it. I love that. So when I'm journaling or doing media, mail art, altered mail art, and want to write something that has a nice point to it, so I can print it nicely, and I know that I don't want it to smear if it gets wet going out in the mail. This is fantastic. I have used this pen over and over and over, and love it. Just love it. So these are really nice. Love the extra fine point. And I want to show you this pen. It really is nice. Then, of course, the school glue, I have it here, and it is in a really big box. This is a pack of 20, and it's really nice. So, very happy to have that. Then, the last thing I want to share that I'm going to be using is the mica powders, and I have been playing with these, and I love them. A little goes a really long way. So they come in a box of 35, and they come in a box of 60. These will last a really long time. So I want to kind of show you here. This is the colors, and in the box of 35 there is a lot of colors. The 60 would just be, I mean, amazing. I can imagine how many more colors there are, but I love the set of 35. So I've played with the moss green. This is a super color right here. The moss green I've played with, and the raspberry red I have also played with. I have played with a lavender, and I'm going to do some, I'm going to show you some collages and stuff. We're going to play with this in the video. The lavender color is beautiful. I think I had 3 different purples. This is an iris purple, and this is an amethyst purple. There is really pretty, this is a bright blue, sapphire blue, which is beautiful. I have also played with this gold, the yellow gold. That is a beautiful color. But anyway, there are just outstanding colors in here. Comes with a little spoon for you to, and I don't know if you can see that little spoon in there. You will when I pull it out. And then, of course, a little card about the mica powder. So I'm going to keep that little spoon out, and I'm going to keep my lavender color out, because we are going to play with that. So Also, I wanted to show you, I'm going to open one of these. These here do come nice, and they have the seal on them. Of course, you won't see that seal in the purple because I've already taken it off. So anyway, just packaged nicely, always quality products. So very pleased with Arteza. Okay, so I am going to get my table set up, ready for the crafting, and I will be right back. Okay, so the table is set up now and ready to craft. So first of all, I want to show you this pen because it is just beautiful writing. This, as you can see, it has like where you can see the ink level there. Just really cute. And I don't know, let's just write a word on here. I mean, it's just such a fine point that it just writes beautiful. It'd be great in your journaling. And then to show you that it is water resistant, there we go. I'm going to spray it. And as you can see, it's not going to just run into each other. And we're just going to smear it a little bit here. So pretty good, guys, for just being wet. Even for smearing. I mean, you can see a little bit there, but it is absolutely wonderful. So the best thing is it's not falling apart when it gets wet, and I've sprayed quite a bit of water on there. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to get the Arteza glue, and instead of just putting it on from the bottle, for having to do the way we glue things on, I actually am just going to put some in this little container I have, and I'm going to spread it on with a brush. I found that I like the way it's covered evenly. The paper does not crinkle, and when it's brushed on, it's fantastic. And I mean, it's okay when you put it on with just from the bottle, but I prefer to brush it on. It gets the coat more evenly and all. Also, I don't suggest that you would take and dump the whole bottle in a container like this. It really needs to stay in the bottle. I'm afraid it might dry out if it's not in your original bottle. I don't know. But I would keep it in the bottle and just pour it out as I need it. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on that, though, while I'm getting ready here. I wanted to show you some things. This was something that I made. This is just a little tea filter pocket I was making for a journal that I'm currently working in. And I have just used the moss green and the red raspberry, and it's just gorgeous. I just love the colors. And of course, this is on all tea stain or coffee stained filter and such. But here is just a little, you can see a little bit of that red raspberry in there. Just beautiful. And then I did use the gold, and I sprayed a tag here, and I love the gold. Also, I get so many things going at once. But this is another journal that I'm currently working on or put aside. But I've collaged it, and then I have just taken it, and you can see where I have just added some of the gold right here. I've just kind of just put a little trace of gold in it, and I love it. Just love it. Okay, so what I want to share mostly is this lavender, because I am working on the lavender journal and want to get it completed, and I knew that I wanted to use the purples. I really wanted to try the purples out. So what I have done is, I love the grunge paper like this, and so I was thinking, what if I applied the same thing to just my copy paper and then spritzed it with my mica powder solution that I make. And so I love the way it came out. It's got the crinkly, and it's not coming off. So I have taken a thing to just kind of rub it to see if anything much would come off, and it does a real good job of adhering. And so I'm going to show you the mixture that I did for this because I want to spray some other things. But I just, let's get the, now I'm just using a little spray bottle is all I'm doing. I'm going to add a little bit of adherent to it because I want that little bit of, glue for it to adhere to. And so I'm adding this Collage Page to the mix, is what I'm doing. And I'm going to kind of shake that up a bit, and then I'll add the mica powder. So now I've used these bottles are dirty. I have used them for lots of things, some stain and different things over the last several months. So let's see. I've got to find what I did with my little spoon. So here is my little spoon. And I'm going to shake that up a little more, and I'm just going to take this, and really it just takes a little bit of powder, but the more powder you put in, the little bit of darker that it will become. So it just depends on the color that you're going for as to really how much powder you want and how much solution you're making, so, or mixture. That's really the key, is just what you're, you know, how much you're mixing and that. So I think that's going to be plenty. Like I said, a little will go a long way, I do believe, on this. So going to mix that up. We're going to give it a spritz here. So I see I've got a little bit of Collage Page there, but I think it'll be fine on the side of the bottle. There we go. That's a nice color. So what I'm going to do is show you how I did the crinkly paper. So what I did was I took a little, just copy paper is all it is. I have taken it and I've spritzed it with water, and then I've given it a crumble just so that it's a little pliable. Okay. Get a little more water on it, make it just a little more pliable for me. Okay, and then I'm going to sop it up with the water here on my mat. Okay, so then once I have it nice and crumbly, I'm just going to open it up, and then I'm going to spritz it with my little mixture. So, and that's how you get that nice crumbly look. So I'm going to take this now. Oops, now when you use the little spritz on the bottle, you do have to kind of clean your little tip off every little bit too. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a good spritz, and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to just spritz it as well. Now if I'd have wanted the color a little darker, then what I would do is I would simply put a little more powder in it. Okay, so then all you want to do is take your paper, and I'm just going to sop that up and just let it dry, just let it air dry, all crumpled. And that's exactly what you do. Just leave it lay, let it dry crumpled, and then you get that nice crinkly effect there is what you get. So, okay. Alright, well, I'm just going to leave that over there. That will take, a little while to dry. But when it does dry, and you unfold it, and I have actually ironed this a little bit flat, because I like it to be a little flat. This is what you get. You get that nice crinkly. And you can see the difference, the variances of the spray. You can kind of see it in the paper. So, alright. I'm going to show you first the journal, okay, that I'm currently working on. And here is the paper, the purples there, and I've actually taken a little distress stain and I've just kind of added a little bit of that brown with some distress stain over the bumps, because I wanted that little bit of vintageness to it, because I've mixed my papers, tea stained, plain white, and my purples. So, you know, and like my music sheets, I've left them. I haven't distressed them or stained them or anything. So to get all the papers together and to actually work with each other, I've added a little bit of brown to that for that little vintage feel. And then here is some of that I've just back there. And here you can see I've added that paper right there, and I'll finish decorating it, you know, another time, but when I get to working back on the journal. So I just kind of wanted you to see the papers, and you can see the crumbliness there, and I've just kind of hit those high ridges, if that's what you want to call them, with the distress stain. So, okay, so let's work on the projects. So I'm going to give that a little bit of spritz there, and I'm going to flip it over, give it a little bit of spritz on the other side. Want to put a little bit on the inside there. Okay, so that has to dry, and then I'm going to do one more collage on this this tea filter, as well as this vintage time card. So I'm going to give them a little spritz of purple as well. Okay, so just gonna, oops, okay, let's turn the back and give it that little bit of purpleness. Okay, so we're going to leave that, and actually I should have just done the other side first. So I'm going to take the little bit of glob off, because I should have done the back side first and then gave that the spray. Okay, so there we are. Going to let that little bit of purple just dry and get that shimmer on there. And my tea filter, I'm going to give it a little bit of spritz as well. And then with the tea filter, I'm going to go ahead and just sop up because it can just saturate that tea filter. Okay, so these will have to dry, and then I will come back and we'll start working with them. Okay, so I've got everything dried, or pretty much. This paper is not completely dry yet. But as you can see, it's crinkled really nice, and when I iron it, it's going to stay crinkled. You can see the difference in kind of some of the colors that has hit in the little veins and things. Love that purple. Here's the back side. If you want a little bit of the crinkly, love this. So gonna set that just over. Here is my little envelope, and as you can see, it has a little bit of shimmer on it. I think the camera is picking it up somewhat, but you can see the shimmer. Absolutely gorgeous. And that is going to be my little envelope that I will end up collaging. Here is the time card with that little bit of purple and that little bit of shine on it. Not, you know, so bold that it's not going to blend with my journal. Okay, so I'm going to start with just collaging. Oh, and here's my little tea filter right here that I'm going to use. And it just has a little bit of purple in it, which is really what I wanted. Just a little bit of shine, because I'll actually you know, have a purple image on it as well. So, okay, so what I'm going to start with is, I think I'm going to start with my little envelope here, and I believe this is what I have picked to put on my little envelope. So I want my flap on this side, because that will be the side of the page that I kind of tuck it on. And I'm going to use the little scoop glue. And let's see here, I'm going to end up collaging this. Let me lay it out a little bit so I can make sure that I have it just how I want it. I'm going to stick that flap out a little bit so it lays a little flatter. Okay, I know I'm going to collage that. I've got the pretty purple image there. And I think this is going to have to come all the way over. That will be somewhat like that. That will be there. I'm going to want that, and I think I can find it. If not, I'll cut a new one. I thought I had a little number here. So anyway, I've got that laid out kind of where I want that. So I'm going to work with the glue. And like I said, I like to just brush it on. It gives it a nice even coat that way. It is a little bit of a quick dry actually, as you're spreading it on. I mean, it's not you know, super fast, but I mean it is a little bit of a quick dry for a school glue. So okay, so I'm going to get that placed on there. Alright, and then I'm going to use a little bit of my purple, I'll call it purple grunge because that's kind of what it is. And because I don't want this just stuck down real tight, I actually want it to come up a little bit in places. I'm just going to kind of get over the little bit of ridges and things. I just kind of want it to not be stuck down really, really good. So I want the edges to be up. Alright, so I like that. Alright, and then I'm going to take my little girl image here. Let's see, here's my little quote. And of course the images are, as most of you know, Mrs. Coggs. Just putting a nice thin coat on there. Just giving it a little bit of layer. And then go ahead and get, oops, if I can get in frame a little better. But just giving it a nice little coat evenly on the paper here. Okay. Oops. Okay. Make sure I have it a little bit straight. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put down my number 8 here. Okay. Just going to fill in that right there. Alright, so there is my little bit of collage for my envelope. And we're just going to let it sit over there and dry. Okay. I love the paper here. I love those purples. Okay, really springy. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tea filter and work on it. Alright, and I think I'm going to use this side here. It has a little bit more purple spritzed on it, and the back side will be attached anyway to the paper. I want to stick a little something on the inside to keep the glue from closing that. We don't want that to happen where it seeped through. Let's see here. I'm probably going to have that like that. So I'm just going to brush my school glue on. This glue, I feel like a little goes a long way on it as well. So, okay, so I'm just going to bring that down a little bit more, try to center it up on my, okay, and then I'm going to add my image is what I want to do. And then I'm going to also add a little bit of this word here in the white, lavender. See, I'm thinking I want to, this looks a little crooked after I get my image on there, so I'm going to bring that back over. Yeah, that looks better. Much, much better. Okay. And my lavender's going to kind of go there, and I'm going to put my image. I don't want to over embellish, and then I might get a button or two. So I'm going to go ahead and get the image stuck down. I know I will put something over there. Just not sure exactly what yet, whether it will be the buttons or the, let's see. I've got a little glue on the paper. I don't want to get my image stuck there. Okay, so let's get the image down. That looks about right. Sure it's not sticking on me. Alright, and then I'm going to get the word lavender kind of stuck down. And it's going to just set right under the picture. Bring that down so we make sure we don't get it both sides stuck on that. Okay, so I like that very much. Okay, so I think I'm going to set that aside till I decide kind of what I'm wanting to do there, which way I'm leaning on this. Like little 3 buttons. So anyway, I'm going to set that over. I'm not going to put anything there for now till I decide what I like. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. And now I'm going to work on this. This will be the last thing. We're going to do the pin, and I'm going to spritz a few more colors as well. So we will do that. Alright, so my time card, this is just a vintage time card, and you can see there the purple. It's just gorgeous, just enough, not too much. I'm going to add a little more book page. I'm going to maybe put my image, I'm not sure how I'm going to do my image. I'm going to bring that down. I want this kind of open. Let's put that there, maybe something like that. And then I want this number kind of up here. That's what I want. And I think that would be really cute, just like that. I may even staple that on. Okay, so let's get our book page stuck down. Okay. Going to bring it right here on the side of this green. Get our little picture stuck down. Whoops. Alright. And I should have laid that down right where I wanted it so I could see. Yeah. About like that. Make sure she's straight. And I want to get my little wallflower. And let's get that kind of right there. Okay, so I like that. And then I'm going to stick the 59 down a little bit here, but I actually want it to staple it as well, just to give it that little bit of, I don't know, just a little bit of something extra. So we're going to put it right there. And then I'm going to take my little tiny attacher here, and I'm going to, give it a little bit of a staple, just to give it that little bit of fun look. Okay, and I may end up putting a little lace or something in here in this part of it. I may also put a little mica powder and in there as well by itself. So, okay. Because I've used it that way, just the plain powder, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. So, okay, so let's let this dry a little bit, and then we'll come back in and kind of finish them off. Okay, so I've kind of got this dried now, and I've decided to add a few things to it, but I am going to put just a little bit of mica powder on it as well. So I'm going to get that, and I'm going to use the lighter one, the lavender. And what I'm going to do is just take a little brush, and it does adhere to the brush a little bit. So, and what I'm going to do is just take it and just rub me a little bit, because I'm going to actually take my finger and just give it a little rub. And you can see that it's just putting a little bit of color. Let me get that off there. It's getting just a little bit of color, and that's exactly what I want, just a little bit of color. Okay, and I'm going to run a little bit of it down on the bottom of the little bit of the wallflower there. Add it. And I'm actually going to take it around a little bit here. So just giving it a little bit of brush with my finger. And if it gets a little heavy, just, wipe it off a little bit. Okay. Then what I want to do to make sure, and this is what I did on my others that I showed you in the beginning of the video. I just simply took a little bit of my glue, just my little school glue. That's what I did. And I simply just brushed a little bit of the glue over the top of it, just to, kind of keep it from flaking off. You don't have to glob your glue. Just a really light little coat is what I gave it. Just to kind of adhere it down so it didn't come off. Okay, and you don't have to wait too long for that to dry. Just a tiny tad is all you need. So, I'm going to go ahead and lay my lace down. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of different glue for that. Okay, but I just want to lay a little bit of glue down. Okay. Just right there. And I've got that little bit of purple just shining through the way that I want it. Oops. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and get this stuck down. And I think I'm just going to add that glue right there for this. And just add my little bit of trim there. This is some vintage trim. Alright, and then I want a little bit of trim there. And when I add the trim, it kind of just lets the purple shine through just a little bit. And I'm actually going to end up putting a couple of vintage buttons here. Is what I'll end up doing. Just a couple of vintage buttons. Like that. Okay. And then I also thought I would add a little purple flower kind of right in there. Something to that effect. I may even bring this down just a hair. Okay, and I believe I want that just right there. So let's get the buttons glued down. Okay, and then I'm going to get the flower glued down. Alright, and that little flower is just going to go right here in this little spot right here. Alright. Alright, so there is going to be my little time card piece that will go in the journal. And so I'm going to lay it over and just let it dry. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead, and I thought I would add just a little bit of lace right here. I think that I'm not going to add the purple powder over here because I just feel like it has enough with this purple piece right here. I don't want to overdo it, so we're going to just kind of leave it. I'm just going to add a little bit of vintage trim here, and we will call that good right there. So now it's of course my little envelope. Okay, so we've got that, and then to the lavender piece here on this tea filter, I'm going to put this little piece of vintage trim. That's what I'm going to do. And we're going to add it right up here. Now I think I will add a little bit of mica powder there. So I think I am going to do that. So I'll grab this. Grab the little brush, and I'm going to actually brush it on and just use my finger to just use my finger to kind of give it a little bit of color there because I want it faded. I don't want it so loud. I want it to be just light and just enough to give that a little bit of purple color. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of lavender on that white piece as well. Don't want to overdo it, just have it just enough. So, alright, then I'm going to take, and I don't know that I'd have to really do this, it's just to make sure that it's not gonna come off into the book. So just a little bit of adhesive, not much at all. Just a little glaze over the top of it. I just feel like it kind of makes it not come loose. So, and you know, since it is a powder, just lift off. Okay, so there we are. That's going to be my little tea filter pocket. I think I was going to add a couple of buttons there is what I planned on doing. Yeah, after I got a little bit of the purple put on. It might just show out the buttons a little better. So let's go ahead and adhere the buttons. These are my vintage buttons. Okay, so there is that. All right, so I like that. I like the way that looks right there. And I don't know if you can see the little bit, just a touch of purple is all there really is, just a touch. So, all right, so there is that. Okay, so the first two colors I want to kind of share with you will be this bright blue and this copper color. And the next two I will show will be the lettuce green and the chocolate brown. I just wanted to kind of share a couple of colors. This is the copper, and I'm going to shake it up real good. And just like anything else, I added a little bit of adherent in there just to get the color to hold. So I'm going to actually spray it on this napkin. I think it shines really well. That is the copper. And then this is the bright blue. And I'm just going to kind of... And like I said before, you can make it as dark as you'd like. I could have made this darker, but I think that's okay right there. So there's the copper and the bright blue. So I'll get ready for the next two. Okay, so here is the chocolate brown and the lettuce green. And let's just kind of, oh, that's pretty. That's the lettuce green. And this is the chocolate brown. Yeah, there we go, guys. That's really, I mixed that really dark, though. But chocolate brown is usually pretty brown. So I made a little tag here with the copper because I wanted to spritz a little bit of the green on it. And then what I did was I actually took a paper towel and I just dabbed that copper on there. But I kind of wanted to dab a little bit of the lettuce green on it and see how it would come out. So anyway, not I'm going to let that dry and just see how it comes out. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed the video, guys. I hope that you will go check out the Arteza products. Be sure and check the description box. I will have, of course, the link to all the products that I used today. And anyway, guys, have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video.